There's no way you can miss it. Big, bold, bright, sometimes blatantly impossible, anime hair is one of the genre's signature styles. It's the first thing people think of when you say anime. Well, after those big eyes. We've got a whole other video about that. But today, it's all about the luscious locks. Hair can be shorthand for personality type, add a moe vibe, or even be a plot point. Looking at you, Frankie. The best known examples are gravity and logic defying, like Jessie from Pokemon, Bulbabobo, all of Shiki, and what's up with Jotaro's hat? Where exactly does the hat end and the hair begin? I won't get to the bottom of that mystery today, but let's comb through the history of anime hair together. Hold on though, something doesn't quite feel right. Ah, much better. The wild variety of hairstyles in anime can be partially attributed to the need for characters to have distinct silhouettes. The wackier the hair, the more distinctive the character. But as hairstyles have been filtered and refined through the self-referential Ouroboros that is anime, they came to take on symbolic meanings and strayed pretty far from their initial goal of creating unique-looking characters. I mean, have you seen Clannad? We'll unpack those meanings later on, but for now, let's stick with the origins of multicolored, multi-dimensional hair. Astro Boy's hair has some sleek slopes, but the first example of spiky, voluminous hair that I can find is in another Tezuka creation, 1969's Dororo. It features Hyakimaru, a ronin whose pointy ponytail captures his feisty, untamable spirit. And it's our first glimpse of what's to come. Shows like 1981's Urusei Yatsura brought unlikely hair colors into vogue, with besties Loom and Ran sporting green and pink hair, respectively. The original Cosmo and Wanda, maybe? And in the 90s, revolutionary girl Utena set the bar when it comes to hyper-exaggerated, prismatic hairstyles. But hair has been a big deal in Japan long before anime. Japan's fascination with hair dates back to ancient times. Hair was associated with life, vitality, and even potentially dangerous energy. Kami-nagai, literally long-haired ones, was a taboo word, and kami, Shinto divinities, were thought to be especially attracted to women's shiny black hair, even floating down to live in it. Because having hair is so significant, cutting hair is also significant. Have you ever seen a dramatic hair chop in anime? These spur-of-the-moment haircuts often represent a deep change in a character's nature, or perhaps the attainment of a new level or station in life. Let's be real, ladies, we've all had our post-breakup haircuts, you cannot lie to me about that. In Naruto, Sakura gives herself a bob after a rival grabs her long hair, taunting her about her obsession with her looks. This episode is called Sakura Blossoms, for good reason. After the chop, a slightly more serious Sakura emerges. On the other hand, when Hanamichi Sakuragi causes his team to lose to their rivals, Kainan, he shaves his gorgeous red pompadour off in an act of penance. These fraught scenes are rooted in Japanese culture, and this trope draws on samurai tradition. When a samurai cuts off his top knot, he's no longer considered a samurai. It's a rich cultural history layered on top of anime's complex visual shorthand. Mix them up, and certain tropes repeat themselves. The style and even the color of hair in anime is loaded with symbolism. Let's take a minute to break down some of the most recognizable styles. Moms in anime tend to have a loose braid or a ponytail casually dangling over one shoulder. The mom's side braid conveys a low-maintenance, feminine vibe that's often associated with kind and gentle characters. In other words, perfect Japanese mom. But even characters without kids can rock a mom braid. Take Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle, for example. She may not be a mom, but she definitely gives off a sweet motherly energy, especially as she begins to age and take care of Howl. Unfortunately, some people also refer to this style as dead mom hair. Yikes. Why? Well, just ask Carla from Attack on Titan. The earliest example we can find of this hair being associated with matricide is in 1978's Story of Perrine. Patricia from Full Metal Alchemist and Ranma 1/2's Kasumi Tendo, who replaces her mom, all sport the flop tail. Not all ponytails are a death sentence, though. A regular old Sporty Spice ponytail indicates that a character is ready for action, like Yoko from Gurren Lagann. Shorter dues skew younger and girlier, while longer ones are often worn by more mature and serious characters. Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha's Signum, Sailor Jupiter, Attack on Titan's Sasha Browse, and Gintama's Kyubei Yagyu all wear 'em high, because you can't fight crime if you ain't cute. Then there's the infamous Twintail, signifier of youthful naivety and girliness. As far as I'm concerned, Twintails are not merely pigtails. Oh no. They're more like follicle fountains. Floor length, rainbow colored, and worn by a huge variety of characters, the Twintail is crazy popular. Ore, Twintail ni narimasu, is named after it, and a Twintail association was founded in 2012. Heck, there's even a Twintail Day. February 2nd. Get it? Two?
I didn't know that.
The twintail was originally called Futatsu Yui, meaning two braids, or hair done up twice. Worn above the ears is rabbit style, behind the ears is regular, and below is country style. Early magical girl Atsuko from 1969's Himitsu no Ako-chan sported them, as do Miss Sailor Moon and Wendy from Fairy Tail. And if you're seeing double, you're also likely looking at a tsundere, a character who tends to have a violent temper and run hot and cold, like Mine from Akame ga Kill, a brutally efficient sniper with a short fuse. The double-do reflects both the tsuntsun, or disgusted, and the dere-dere, or lovey-dovey sides of these characters in hair form. Take Bisky from Hunter x Hunter, for example. Her twintails are probably a nod to this beefy fighter's two forms. Then there's Rin from Fate Stay Night, Yui from Angel Beats, Haruhi, Mitsuba, Eri, whew, the list goes on. But let's be honest. What do we talk about when we talk about anime hair? This. A whole lotta this. Closely associated with teen male protagonists, spiky shonen hair is probably the single most iconic anime hairstyle, and we've seen some of anime's most beloved characters rock it. Dragon Ball Z's Saiyans, Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Bleach's Ichigo Kurosaki, Ash and Brock from Pokemon, and Bakugo from My Hero Academia. They're all red-blooded dudes out for adventure. I bet they're a very sweaty bunch. Some guys take it way too far though. I'm looking at you, Kenpachi Zadaki. And Gon? Oh, Gon, we need a whole other category for you, my friend. Cowboy Bebop's Spike, ironically, has a softer do. His look was inspired by actor Yusaku Matsuda from the action detective show Tantei Monogatari. Deku's curls may also be a softened version of this style, which makes sense for a kind-hearted guy like him. A soft boy, if you will. Twintails are probably female characters' equivalent of spiky shonen hair, but the Hemay Cut is another contender. Hemay literally means princess. In the cut, front bangs to eyebrows, side locks to cheek, and long straight hair represents the upper class, tradition, and elegance. It's thought to date back to the Heian period, when Japan moved away from emulating Chinese court styles and began creating its own. A ceremony called binsogi evenly trimmed young ladies' side locks to signify they'd come of age, and the floor-length hair was the most coveted look. It's usually seen on ojo, wealthy, high-class young women, or people who just act like royalty, like Kiwa Kill Student Council President Satsuki Kiryuin. Since it's traditional, you'll also see it on Miko, or shrine maidens. Sakura from Urusei Yatsura and Cardcaptor Sakura's Kaho Mizuki work it. Work it, girls! And Sango from Inuyasha and Chichi from Dragon Ball sport it, but since they straddle tradition and action, they'll put it into a ponytail when it's time to fight. Hemay cuts are also popular in gothic Lolita fashion. It's easier to maintain than ring curls, which explains why Rude and Crude's stocking from Panty and Stocking with garter belt and Gossic's Victorique have it. Other popular styles include ojo ringlets, which are typically worn by prissy snobs. You've got Elizabeth Midford from Black Butler, Mami Tomoe from Madoka Magica, and Mitsuki Koyama from Full Moon wo Sagashite, to name a few. Odango buns often mark a character as specifically or part Chinese, like Rama One-Half's Shampoo, Princess Asuka of Magic Knight Ray-Earth, or Vivian Wong from Yu-Gi-Oh! Other times, like the bun's most famous wear, Sailor Moon, it's just a do. In China, and disclaimer, I am so sorry if I botch this, it's a style called Niu Jiaotou, or ox horns. Women wear the classic two buns, and men wear a single bun in the back. But in Japan and anime, it's strictly for gals. Sorry dudes, ladies only. The Pompadour is the signature hairstyle of rebels without a cause, both in anime and in Western media. Named after creator Madame de Pompadour of King Louis XV's court, Americans brought the style to Japan during post-World War II rebuilding. After a cultural emphasis on conformity and tradition in the 60s, rocking a pomp in Japan became a sign of rebellion, much like hippie hair in America around the same time. Seen on Space Dandy, Josuke from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Food Wars Konishi, Beelzebub's Tatsuya, Ryonosuke from Shaman King, and pre-chop Sakuragi in Slam Dunk, most of anime's Pompadour boys are rebels with hearts of gold. Rounding out these more ostentatious styles are hair antenna and ahoge, which technically can be an add-on to any of the styles I just mentioned. I love ahoge. Ahoge literally translates to foolish hair, and is a single cowlick. The characters who have it are usually silly or naive, or they're a Danganronpa protagonist. If a character has multiple pokey hair bits, they're called hair antennae, popularized by half of Love Hina's harem, and seen on Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura, and Oh My Goddess's Belle Dandy. They represent, well, Nothing in particular. They might indicate airheadedness, sort of relating them to a hoge, but mostly both styles just add some silliness and visual flair. Nothing wrong with that. On the other end of the spectrum, the bald look is also common in anime. Specious reasoning says baldness is caused by too much testosterone. I'm not gonna comment on that. Well, even if it's not quite true, bald guys have a lot to prove in a country where hair equals prowess. Usually fighters or surly old men, their chrome domes shine as they dish wisdom or butt kickings. Krillin and Piccolo, and Frieza, and Tien Shinhan. A lot of hair loss on Dragon Ball Z. Maybe that explains all the fighting? Saitama of One Punch Man and Ikkaku Madarame of Bleach are also follically challenged, but they're powerful contenders nonetheless. For the anime characters that do have hair, there's more to look at than just style. Hair color is also an important facet of character design, and also comes with its own symbolism. You'll notice that regular, ordinary folks and background characters usually have black or dark brown hair, the most common hair colors in Japan. Blonde is not so ordinary, and that's reflected in some of anime's most notable blondes. It's a shoujo convention that yellow or golden hair highlights a chosen one or a main character, like Usagi in Sailor Moon, and Trigun does the same with Vash. Blonde can also be visual shorthand for foreigners. If hair's extra pale, it might indicate that the character is closer to the supernatural. Kaoru Nagisa. In a twist, Naruto's designer, Masashi Kishimoto, gave his Japanese character blonde hair and blue eyes just because, which magazine Shonen Jump theorized caused it to be so popular internationally. And if you're wondering what's behind Super Saiyan Blonde, creator Akira Toriyama just wanted to make his workload easier by not having to constantly color Goku's black hair. So he left it blank in the manga, which translates to blonde in anime, I guess. White hair can denote age and wisdom, like with Jiraiya and Naruto. But if it's a white-haired woman, there's likely something ethereal or magical about her. Think Mary Jane from Fairy Tail. If it's Bishonen, they may be bi or gay. It's a color of purity and truth, but also death and ghosts. I see you, Inuyasha. Blue, on the other hand, is often found on cool, calm, and collected characters. It can also signal someone super intelligent and shy, like Miki Kaoru from Revolutionary Girl Utena, Ronin warriors Toma Hashiba, and Ami, or Sailor Mercury. Also seen on intense overachievers Medaka Kurakami, Rei Ayanami from Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Tetsuya from Kuroko Basketball. Redheads are often fiery hotheads. Not me though, I'm sweet as pie. The US Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion is the classic example. Other examples include Naruto's Karin and fellow Uzumaki Kushina. Pink locks are the most popular color from Moe Effect, like Nurse Joy, Fairy Tail's Natsu Dragneel, and Galaxy Angel's Milfu Sakuraba's hair. Orange-haired characters tend to be a more optimistic, but an equally fiery variation of red. See Neon Genesis Evangelion's Asuka Langley, Bleach's Ichiko Kurosaki, and One Piece's Nami. You know, I had pink hair in college. You wanna know what they called me?
What?
That short pink-haired girl. Creative. I know.
Wow.
Green hair can note ties to nature, but it can also denote high energy and enthusiasm, like Bleach's Niliel or My Hero Academia's Deku. For Loom of Urusei Yatsura, her greenish-blue hair represents her alien and jealous nature. Bulma's hair was originally fuchsia, though zealous green suits her ever-changing cuts. Mostly it denotes a gentler spirit, like Saint Seiya's Shun, Sailor Neptune, or N from Pokemon. Purple has long been the color of royalty, and the shade can reflect regal bearing, power, and natural leadership, like Tokyo Ghoul's Rize Kamishiro, or just someone who thinks they're like Team Rocket's James. Drama! Look, I could spend the next hour trying to justify anime's imaginative dues. Sure, they draw on cultural traditions, and yes, the colors mean something. Even the little flyaways have significance. But at the end of the day, anime hair is just one of those stylistic things that makes anime, anime. So why anime hair? Well, why not? I'm Dorrie, and thank you for watching GetintheRobot, your anime explainer. And if you're still asking yourself, why anime? Why? Then subscribe for more videos like this.